Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod, Bitcoin pumping, back in the green. In today's show, we'll be discussing Bitcoin buyers waiting below 58,000 as Japan wipes out, record stock crash. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin at a perfect macro setup, but a dip below 58,000 risks 500 million in liquidations. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin can resist the wrath of God, says the Tether CEO. Here's exactly what he means by that. We'll also be discussing breaking news. El Salvador, Bitcoin country, seals $1.6 billion deal to modernize ports and bring Bitcoin City to life. Bitcoin City, stack them biddies. We'll also be discussing legendary Fibonacci extension reveals when the Bitcoin price will likely reach $109,000 per coin. Also be sharing Macau Van Day Pop's 250,000 big run Bitcoin target, as well as analysts tells Forbes that Bitcoin can hit 1 million per coin as soon as next year in 2025. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. What it do? It is Tuesday, August 13th. Holla at your boy. What's poppin', family? I know I'm streaming a little early today, and just as a heads up, tomorrow a hurricane is scheduled to hit the island of Puerto Rico. So if there's no podcast, now you know why. It's because I have no power. Just FYI. We'll see how it goes. But currently, it's heading right to the island of Puerto Rico. So we're streaming a little live, a little earlier than usual. I'm going to be streaming for the next couple of hours. Heads up, fam. Share the live stream clearly. If you guys can repost this, is always greatly appreciated. Shout out everyone in the live chat. Robbie Kaiser, unidentified him. We have the Oracle in the building. Jerry Reynolds. Shout out Chandy, of course. Shout out Otto Man, C-List, and the rest of the fam. Let's get it.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Welcome to the rest of the Bitcoin fam. Again, we're going to be streaming next couple of hours. Massive shout out to anyone who reposts the live stream. And you're going to notice the live stream from now on X, always pinned at the top of the profile. So first and foremost, shout out to anyone who already reposted it. JC Ice, Jerry Reynolds, and the rest of the fam. I'll be checking my X feed the entire stream. And as I promised, anyone who reposts with a quote will get reposted. You will get shouted out on the live stream, and I'll also promise to follow you back. It's greatly appreciated, family. Welcome, everyone. What's poppin'? What's good in the hood? I got me some of the Brew Doctor Super Berry flavor here today. Jason Buck in the building. 2 days in a row. Hashtag winning. Let's go. That's right. Bitcoin recaptured 61,000. It's a beautiful thing. Considering we're back above 60 G's.
Bitcoin, 60 G's, 60 G's. Buying opportunity for fifth level sexy G's.
You already know. Pink Panther, what up, bro? Shout out Bob S. Anyone able to watch the Trump-Musk 2-hour interview? I tried to get on for like 30 minutes and it just wouldn't work. And apparently there was an attack or some BS. I don't know. But let me know if you guys were on it.
What do you think, JV? Oh, by the biddy. Who cares about a roaring kitty? A boring kitty, not me. I'm for the bitty. I'm for the nippinator. I'm for Nipsey, not for the weirdo Kit Kat kitty. Cat, a kitty cat. I'm for stacking the stats.
Let's go. What up, Alan? What do you think, JV? What's your question there, brother? What do I think about? Let me know. Yeah. 2 p.m. stream today, 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. here, also in Puerto Rico. Had to stream a little extra early today. And just as a heads up, I plan on streaming tomorrow at 4, but there's going to be a hurricane on the island. So if there's no power, I cannot stream. So if you don't see a stream from me tomorrow, now you know why. Just heads up, family. But I am praying that I'm still able to still do the show. Listen to the whole thing. It was a DDoS attack, JV. Thank you, Oracle. That's what I heard. So every time I try to get on, it would like open and then crash and say not available. And I tried for, at least 15 minutes. But then I just lost interest. I'm like, screw this. Am I going to click this button all day until it works? So it's kind of crazy. I would imagine millions of people were on it as well, because when I was looking, it was like 2 million. And then I try again, there was 4 million. I try again, there was 6 million. I try again, there was 9 million. So it was probably one of the most listened or viewed, I would imagine, interviews yesterday on the interwebs. Just Trump being fashionably late, says Dan. Where's Ice Ice Baby? Ice Ice Baby is now the Oracle, just if you haven't figured that out, Alan. Shout out Chandy. C-list, I listened to it. Some decent real discussion. Nothing for the EU to panic about. I am for the Nippinator. Thank you, JBZ. Hit the likes, ya bunch of degens. But anyways, fam, we're streaming live and in the flesh right now. If you guys can repost this, spread the word. Let people know we're live, especially considering I'm streaming a couple of hours earlier than the normal schedule. I logged on just as they posted the link to it. Nice. I heard it through the Times of India rebroadcast. Oh, wow. I also saw on YouTube some influencers had it, like Aiden Ross. I think that's where I was able to actually listen to a little bit of it, because I just couldn't, it wouldn't work on X for whatever reason anytime I was trying. But anyways, fam, welcome everyone to the stream. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and then hit that bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode 1729. I'm your host, JV. It's August 13th, 2024, and the markets are back in the green. We reclaim 61 G's, baby, with Bitcoin up roughly $1,700 on the day. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do every day. You can see Bitcoin up 3%, Ether up almost 2% on the day, Solana up 1.5%, even XRP up 2%, as the bulk of the market is all pumping. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at $2.15 trillion, with the Bitcoin market cap sitting back above $1.2 trillion. We got roughly 70 billion worth of volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance currently at 56.3%, with the Ether dominance at 15.2%. And checking out the SOT 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got Stacks leading the pack, up 11.5%, followed by Rune, followed by Celestia, followed by Maker, and AKT. Which alt, if any, family are you guys bullish on? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the day. It's good to see the bulk of the market back in the green. It's a beautiful sight. And zooming out on the monthly, unfortunately, still wreck city overall. 90 to 95% of the market wrecked and in the red. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. Today we're 31 in fear, and check it. Yesterday we did tap 25 in extreme fear, and lo and behold, we got a pump. And that's why I love this metric. The lower we go in extreme fear, the more likely of a pump, and vice versa. So there you have it, family. Where do you feel that Bitcoin price action will likely take us for this rest of the month of August? And considering we had a very bearish June, July monthly close, let me know. Do you think the bullish momentum will continue for the month of August and for the month of September? I'll let your boy. Welcome, everyone just joining the live stream. What it do? Just Trumping it up. Sup all? What up, Wayne? What's poppin'? What's good? Trump plus Musk plus Bitcoin equals freedom. Hit the likes, you bunch of degens. Thank you for the reminder, JBZ. So timely with it.
Stack the sats, ain't no thing, baby. It's a chance to stack those sats, chance to stack the big T's. Baby, you never heard about me with another coin.
And shout out Giovanni Crispino. I appreciate the repost. And the rest of the fam as well. Again, anyone who reposts the live stream will get shouted out, reposted, and followed over on my X.
Bitcoin on my mind, on my Bitcoin, and my Bitcoin on my mind. 60 G's, 60 G's, a buying up for 280.
And for the chat, what was the most interesting part of the conversation between Trump and Elon, if you were one of the many who were on it? Let me know. I still didn't get to listen to it all. I just saw some highlights of what was discussed, so let me know. I don't think they discussed Bitcoin. In fact, I created a poll before the interview yesterday, a couple hours before, and I asked, do you think they will reference Bitcoin? Yes, no, or not sure. And most of the people put yes. In my mind, the back of my mind, I didn't believe they would reference Bitcoin whatsoever. But I don't know, because I didn't listen to it. And then a percentage of you said, I don't know. So I'm curious. I found out an old friend of mine watches this show. He goes by Tortuga de Fuego. Well, shout out Tortuga de Fuego. And it's good. I appreciate that support. Thanks for letting me know, JBZ. Small world, isn't it? Disclaimer. This is not financial advice. The information provided is from recent news articles for entertainment and discussion only. Always do your own research before investing in cryptocurrency. I appreciate that reminder there, Dankness. So true, so true. Talking about the poo-poo attempt. I found that fascinating. Ooh, that is interesting because I don't think I've heard Trump discuss that yet. So now I am intrigued. I'll have to hear that segment for sure. And was it 2 hours or longer? I saw they said it was roughly 2 hours. I don't know if that's accurate. Ahoy, Captain JV and the Bitcoin Pirate crew. Welcome, and my apologies. I am streaming early today, fam. I bet you a lot of people are anticipating me going live at 4, but we went live at 2 today. Sounds like a Pirates or the Caribbean character. Yeah, that's right. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. Pirates of the Caribbean. Exactly. You nailed it. But anyways, fam, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out some of the live charts and discuss where the price action may likely take us next. Bitcoin buyers wait below 58,000 as Japan wipes out record stock crash. That's right. Here you're looking at the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin shrugged off global macroeconomic events on August 13th as the Bitcoin price action stayed below 60 G's, baby. That's right. Trading views showed a lackluster Wall Street open for the biddy, which contrasted with the stock markets. The bullish mood was led by Japan on the day, which saw the Nikkei 225 completely recover its record losses from earlier in the month. The index closed at 36,000 points, up 3.5% on the day. Meanwhile, U.S. equities also posted a promising start with the S&P 500 and NASDAQ index up 0.8% and 1.4% within the first hour. The strong performance was aided by the July print of the PPI, which came in below expectations. A key driver behind bets of interest rate cuts and increased capital flowing to risk assets. And as you can see printed here by the Kabisi letter, breaking July PPI inflation falls 2.2% below expectations, yada, yada, yada. The latest data from the CME Group FedWatch tool showed the market's favoring a larger 0.5% rate cut by the Fed at its next meeting scheduled for September. And prior to the PPI release, markets ascribed a greater chance at 0.25% cut. And commenting on the crypto reaction, we had analyst Dan Crypto Trades showed how the macro data releases often result in short-term fake out moves. Quoting him here, this was just PPI, so the move wasn't large. We tend to see similar things on CPI, which often causes much larger and slightly slower whipsaw moves, as outlined here in the chart. He also referred to the upcoming CPI print due on August 14th, which is tomorrow, family, on Wednesday. Quoting the analyst again, PPI, not a bad start, coming in slightly below, which I think is good. Gives the Fed room to start cutting and he also shared, but also not going into the negative where we'd have to start getting afraid for deflation yet. And also continuing on the macro theme, QCP Capital suggested that CPI would form a highlight of the week for the markets. Investors, it said in its latest bulletin, they will closely watch inflation numbers for guidance on whether the Fed will cut the rates by 50 or 25 BPS in September. What are your thoughts? We also have another analyst, Macau Van de Pop. He gave September as a guideline date for Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs. Let's go. Continuing what popular narrative prior to the early August crash to 6-month lows, quoting him here. Great bounce last week on Bitcoin. However, I'd like to see 60,000 break, which we just broke. If that happens, I am quite sure that we'll be seeing a new all-time high in September/October. Do you agree with that sentiment? Now that we just broke 60 Gs clearly, do you think we're on track for a new price discovery mode, which ultimately means entering a new all-time high? The current price discovery is sitting at 73.8, which we achieved back in mid-March. It's been a hot minute. Let me know your thoughts, fam. And checking out some of the live charts for you guys. Here's the 1 hour chart. You see a few different looks as far as price targets are concerned. Again, this is live and in the flesh. Here's a better look. We're currently just sitting above $61,100. This is the hourly chart. Look at that big green candle, family. Tell me that ain't sexy. Pretty massive. We do have a target as well sitting at $63,790. So you can see there is a bullish breakout right now in the 1 hour chart with that massive candle. Respect the pump, family. And zooming out, get a broader perspective, let's check out the 4-hour candle. You can see here in your chart, also 2 big consecutive green candles on the 4-hour, which is pretty lit. So definitely bullish momentum kicking in. And zooming out for the 1 day, as you can see live and in the flesh, we had that mega Godzilla demigod candle a few days ago. After we tapped the new bottom of 49,000, it took us right back to 62. And you can see where we're currently at. We do have a target sitting south at 47.7 on the daily chart. And let's zoom out a little broader. We'll check out the weekly. And on the 1 week, we still have that pretty cup and handle target sitting just above $125,500. And we'll get one more look here on the monthly. As you can see on your screen, we had 7 green consecutive monthly candle closes, and it's been red, green, red, green, red, and a little sideways trading action. Hopefully we can break out of the bearish sentiment we have had for the month of June and July and, end with a nice green candle for the month of August and continue that bullish momentum into September and into Q4 of this year. But let me know your thoughts, family, before we dive into the next story. Welcome everyone joining the stream. What's good, Greg? He says, side note, Japan is the largest foreign holder of the U.S. Treasury bonds to the tune of $1 trillion. Oh, and $500 billion in EU bonds too. What happens if they dump and buy BTC? Good question. We need cuts on interest rates. I feel like the banks are about to be a huge story in a year span. A rate cut isn't to lower the interest rates per se. It is to boost the yen versus the dollar. Homemade pasta with chicken sauce and Parmesan cheese. Yummy lunch. Bon appetit, the Oracle. Enjoy yourself. We are getting 0.25 or 0.500. JV, we appreciate the happy music.
Bitcoin. But I don't sweat it because it's just pathetic to let it get me involved in that sell on the dip crowd, sell on the dip crowd, dip sell, dope sell, no sell, no Bitcoin sell. I'm no sellout. Bitcoin. Roger out, Roger out.
Yeah, I see we got over 400 people already on the stream, so thank you guys in advance for anyone reposting or spreading the word and sharing this. We are going to be streaming next couple of hours, so spread the word, fam. We're a little early today, so it's caught probably a lot of people off guard. So PR for Christmas, 100K party is going to be litty as what? Amen. We need to raise interest rates, not to lower them. These artificial low rates are harming the entire economy, says the Oracle. But yeah, we got Bitcoin up 1,800 on the day. Not too shabby. Nacho cheese, nacho keys. Precisely, JBZ. Well said, broski. Always appreciate the reminder. Get your Bitcoins off the exchanges, family. Hopefully you guys learned your lesson. Previous cycle with the collapse of FTX. And that was, I think, the second largest exchange in the world before it filed chapter 11 bankruptcy. And now people are still waiting to get their money back that they left the Bitcoin on the exchanges. And you're probably never going to get the Bitcoin back. Sad to say, they're going to give you the fiat equivalent at the bottom of the market. So even though Bitcoin is worth 61,000 today, they have the balls to repay you 16,000 in fiat, which was the bottom of the market. And that's what these corrupt crooks love to do, family. So get your biddies off the exchanges. Yes, but I was more to get bullish and have gains for the overall economy, says un mango. One mango. Steamy still, eh? I remember my first mortgage, 11.5%. 2 years later, I refied to 6.5%, cut my payment by almost $500 a month. It does make a tremendous difference, your interest rate, especially the size of the loan, right? If you got a big loan, a small little change of that percentage rate makes a drastic difference, as you noticed there, Greg. I think my first mortgage, they used to, oh my God. My brother bought a house a few years ago. It was like he got like 2 point something interest rate. It doesn't even exist no more. But now he can't refi, because if he refis, the interest rate's going to be like 6, 7, or 8%. There's no more 2% interest rates. You know what I mean? Those days are gone. I think we have them at 1% lower, but super low just before it means the housing inflation and imbalances. So I'm very grateful to have purchased this house and not have an interest rate, because it'd probably be high. Housing is insane right now. Agreed. It's insane. It's pure insanity, yo. Inflation. And they say, don't worry, we got the inflation under control. Yeah, sure you do, buddy. Sure you do. I might sell and rent for a while. Smash that like button. Did you guys see there was a post I reposted the other day, and it said something like, actually, it'd be worthy to read it to you guys. It's good. I'm going to show you the post, and then we'll continue with our news here. And a great quote by Max Kaiser, by the way. World War Bitcoin has started. Everyone with Bitcoin wins. Let me know if you agree with that. Here's the post I was referencing. So this is what it says. I'm going to read it to you. This was posted back on August 13th of 2019. In 2015, I sold 800 Bitcoin to buy a house for my family. So again, in 2015, he sold 800 Bitcoin to buy a house for his family. That 800 Bitcoin in today's price is probably close to $50 million. In 2018, I sold my house. So 3 years later, he sold the house he purchased for 800 Bitcoin and bought back 50 Bitcoin. So from 2015 to 2018, because of the house purchase, he ultimately lost 750 Bitcoin, close to $50 million at today's price. And Nipponator indicator live and in full effect. Look at that. 4 paws in the air, and they stay there. But he goes on to say, people who think I am crazy for selling my house, please know my only regret is to have sold my Bitcoins. Investment in real estate is now garbage comparing to Bitcoin. And he makes a great point there. So I wrote and reposted it, got a lot of love. This is wild. It goes to show you how much Bitcoin can appreciate within a 3-year span. It's mind-boggling, yo. So, HODL be thy name. And here's a great meme that shows you the purchasing power of the dollar versus Bitcoin when it comes to a house. In 2016, an average house cost 664 Bitcoin. In 2020, it cost 45 Bitcoin. And in 2024, this year, it only cost 6 Bitcoin. Pays the HODL. Look at that Nipponator indicator. Pretty lit, by the way. Shout out to the Nip. I bought Bitcoin in 2010, sold it not understanding it. Damn, that is sad. JP has already stated to Congress that the current fiscal policy is an unsustainable path. Bought back in 2018. Word up, guys. Thank you, Catherine Weaver. Greatly appreciate the reposts. And just reposted your family. And again, anyone else who reposts the live stream will get reposted. Always appreciated. So it pays to HODL. It pays to HODL. It pays to HODL. And I'm a real life example as well. Due to my situation, I had a Bitcoin-backed loan, and I had to pay it off to avoid being liquidated because I had a margin call. And I think it ended up costing me roughly maybe 30 Bitcoin of collateral to pay off the house to avoid losing the rest of my collateral. So it ultimately means in the end, the house cost me roughly 30 Bitcoin, the house I'm in right now. Now, this was in 2022, and the market was crashing. And I think when I paid off the Bitcoin-backed loan with my Bitcoin collateral, Bitcoin was down to 30,000. So now, Bitcoin's 60,000. So this house, in today's value, is worth maybe roughly 15 Bitcoin. So I took ultimately a 15 Bitcoin loss to say I'm an owner of this house and to avoid paying rent. So obviously this house wasn't the smartest investment, but it's a learning experience, right? Clearly with a Bitcoin-backed loan, I would have never intended to prematurely end the loan to lose a lot of my collateral. The idea is Bitcoin climbs and then you pay less to close the loan. But in my situation, it was a close call and I could have lost everything. So it worked out in the end, and I'm still very grateful. I am thinking C-list. I am thinking JV has 160 to 220 BTC. Here's a trick. Make a 13th payment each year in your mortgage and apply it towards the principal. You can shave almost 10 years off a 30-year loan. Hey, JV and fam. Shout out Mark. What's poppin'? Shout out Gary with a silent R. Great attitude. Yeah, because I now look at the stories of that person who just lost 750 Bitcoin purchasing a house in 2015. I got off easy. So I can't complain, family. I can't complain. Shout out to the NIP. He's still with this indicator right now. And with his eyes rolled in the back of his head is just odd. He's like, he's literally dreaming right now. But his paws are in the air. It's one of the cutest postures right now. Happy 420, over 420 people on the stream. Still got a lot to share. Nipinator indicator in full swing. Take advantage of it. Please read my previous comment. You got it, JC. Let's see. JC wrote, the Fed is in a catch-22 at the moment. If they raise the rates, they risk a Japan-type crash. But if they lower or keep them where they are, they risk hyperinflation. Definitely a catch-22. Double-edged blade right there, JC. Salam, family. Welcome, Muhammad. Let's continue with the news, family. Our next story of the day. This headline reads, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen first. Bitcoin at perfect macro setup, but a dip below 58 Gs risks a 500 million worth of liquidations. So that's right. Bitcoin is at a perfect setup for the macroeconomic perspective, but over 500 million worth of looming liquidations threaten to create more volatility for the world's first crypto. In relation to the global M2 money supply, Bitcoin's current mid-cycle correction positions it for an imminent bullish breakout, according to Jamie Couts, chief crypto analyst over at Real Vision, quoting him here. Over the past decade, Bitcoin has had a tendency to trough several months before the bottom in the global M2. Then it rips, gets way ahead of the move in liquidity, and has a mid-cycle correction. Now, as you can see here, it shows you the Bitcoin and M2 money supply chart. The growing global liquidity from the M2 money supply combined with the spot Bitcoin ETFs makes for the perfect setup for the biddy. The analysis comes as Bitcoin is recovering from last week's 510 billion crypto market sell-off, which tanked the Bitcoin price to a new low of 49.5 recorded on August 5th. Now, Bitcoin still remains under the key 60,000 psychological mark. Well, up until about an hour or two ago, now we're back above it and currently above 61,000. So take that. Now, despite the bullish macroeconomic perspective, Bitcoin price can still see a correction to the 55,000 level, according to CoinGlass. A potential move below 58,000 will liquidate almost 500 million worth of cumulative leverage short positions across all the major exchanges. The short Bitcoin liquidations could surpass 800 million if the Bitcoin price fell below 57,500. Bitcoin is currently trying to break out of the downtrend, which has started back on July 28th, and it looks like we're breaking out of it alive and in the flesh right now. Quoting analyst Red Capital, as time goes on, the downtrend represents lower prices, meaning the retest attempts could go lower prices and still be successful. The key here is the trend continuation. Bitcoin needs to experience strong buy-side volume on the retest of the downtrend. Other analysts are eyeing a potential Bitcoin correction of 55,000 before Bitcoin can gain more upwards momentum. And it sounds like all that just got invalidated because we just broke above 60,000 here this morning and we're back above 61,000. So things are looking good. And again, line in the sand, long as we can maintain above 58,000, we will avoid 500 million worth of liquidations. So there you have it, family. Welcome everyone just joining the live stream. What's good in the hood? Holla at your boy. We need to pump so I can dump this Matic. Dirty. Life matters. We need to create a better world, but not with top-down power. All Mystic participate and become imbued with a collective, though diverse ownership of their stake in an improved world. C-List is dropping some knowledge, I see. All must participate. Word up. What up, Diana? Good to have you here on the stream. 60 G's, anyone?
Bitcoin, 60 G's, 60 G's. Buying opportunity for fifth level 60 G's. What do you think, JV? By the biddy, who cares about?
And thank you, Charlene, for the repost. I'm throwing everyone off today because everyone was anticipating 4 p.m. But yeah, we had to go live a little early. And thank you, Catherine Weaver. Appreciate you.
Kitty, me, I'm for the bitty, I'm for the nipinator, I'm for Nipsey, not for the weirdo.
Kit Kat Kittays. What up, family? What's poppin'? What's good? We got over 400 people on the stream. A little early today. I know it caught a lot of you off guard. Nipinator indicator in full effect. versus the mystic participant. I orange pilled 2 people this morning at my local feed store. That's next level orange pilling at the feed store, particularly. So well done, JC. Well done. That's why you're the oracle. Good job, Jennifer. Cheers. I also want to invite everyone over on X because, again, there's over almost 500 people on the stream. The majority of you are on X. We don't have the biggest chat today on the tube because there's only 100 of you on the tube because I caught everyone off guard going live a little early. So if you guys can, from X and Rumble, visit the YouTube link, cryptonewsalerts.net, interact in the chat, blow up the chat. It'll make for a more lit stream considering it's a live and interactive stream. I'm just waiting for new comments to appear. And Nipsey knows it's going up. Exactly. The ultimate buy signal. You're going to need more screen space when Bitcoin hits 100 G's, baby. Well, send it unless we can get it. But let's dive into our next story and discuss, we discussed that 500 million liquidation if we drop below 58. Now let's discuss the wrath of God. Interesting headline here. Bitcoin can resist the wrath of God, says Tether CEO Paolo. Here's what he means by that. So yeah, Tether chief executive Paolo thinks geopolitical tensions and macroeconomic trends are going to increase the importance of scarce assets such as Bitcoin and gold. He says in a new interview with investor and venture capitalist Preston Pish that he doesn't think the globe is headed towards a nicer period for humanity, citing bubbling geopolitical issues across the world. Quoting him here, there's so much tension starting from Europe, very, very high tension, to the US, to everywhere else in the world. Things are not nice. And so having an exposure to scarce assets like Bitcoin and gold is the way to go. The Tether CEO notes that fear is driving China and other countries to buy up enormous amounts of gold. He encourages individual investors to buy gold or Bitcoin in the same way. Quoting him here, everyone's fearful that something is going to happen. Buying Bitcoin and gold is the most intelligent thing you can do with your profits. With your profits, you should start investing a portion of them into something that can resist the wrath of God. And maybe I am wrong, but we are going to experience that sometime in the future. So he's ultimately making a prediction that the wrath of God is coming down. And if you don't have Bitcoin or gold, you're doomed. Ultimately, the sentiment I get from it. What are your thoughts? Now, Tether issues USDT, the largest stablecoin by market cap, and it aims to maintain that 1-1 peg with the US dollar. And clearly, it is the first stablecoin to ever exist in crypto, and they have a first mover's advantage, and they're absolutely crushing it. And when it comes to stablecoins, there is no second best. But let me know your thoughts surrounding some of his predictions there, that you need some gold or Bitcoin, and which do you choose? Or do you choose both? Let me know. Me, I don't really invest in gold. Granted, I do have some gold chains. Granted, I do have a gold rod in my favorite crystal, which I shared on Show and Tell during yesterday's stream. But nonetheless, I believe in the Bitcoin because I believe Bitcoin is superior in every facet in which you can compare Bitcoin to gold, right? Bitcoin is the settlement, so it's superior to all other forms of money. When you make a Bitcoin transaction, the transaction is the settlement. That is what makes it totally superior, because with fiat, the banks don't trust the other banks, and there is, the transaction takes time to settle is the bigger picture. And the same thing with gold when gold is transferred, right? So with Bitcoin, the transaction is the settlement. For that reason alone, it's superior than all other forms of money. And then we start to compare it, divisibility. One Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis. By the time a Satoshi is worth 10 cents, we'll have a $10 million Bitcoin price. By the time a Satoshi is valued at $1 USD, we'll have a $100 million Bitcoin price. Portability. Try traveling with some gold bars, most likely just be confiscated, from you. Meanwhile, you can have billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Remember your passphrase from your cold storage device. You can go through the airport, no problem, right? Also, scarcity. Bitcoin has true scarcity. There is a finite limited supply. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but there can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in circulation. Gold, they will forever find more gold on the earth, just as they have been doing for the past thousands of years. That's not going to slow down anytime soon. And I can go on and on. Unconfiscatable, immutable, un-F-wittable. There's no comparison whatsoever. Bitcoin is the apex predator, and it's coming. And all assets, including real estate, as I demonstrated previously with that throwback post of that person ultimately spending 750 Bitcoin on a house, Bitcoin's also demonetizing not only gold and money, but real estate. Take that, family. I don't sweat my bread. It's in my head. The banks are teetering on the brink of insolvency. The Fed is on the brink of bankruptcy. I trust the biddy to get my family through the turbulent times ahead. Same here, Oracle. And the reason I don't trust the gold, the government could take it from you. The only asset they can't take from you is the biddy. Real talk, family. Don't forget, there's not 21 million Bitcoin, 3.6 million permanently lost, 1.1 million in the original Satoshi wallets, 1.5 million yet to be mined. Well said, which ultimately means there'll probably only ever be around 15 million Bitcoin in circulation because there's 5-6 million lost or gone or stagnant forever, Laura. Even more scarce. I agree with you, Greg. 15 million biddies, 100%. And guess what? MicroStrategy has a big fraction of that. Guess what? BlackRock has a big fraction of that. Guess what? Fidelity has a big fraction of that, right? And they're not slowing down. They're speeding up. Remember, we all need silver, though, JV. Your cold wallet won't work without it. Forget gold, but silver is vital. What doesn't mean I need to be an investor in it, because I don't invest in things the government can just steal from me. That's just me. Let the others that believe in it, invest in the silver. And I'm not arguing with you. It may be a great metal we need for everything, and that's great, but it doesn't mean I got to be an investor in it. I choose the biddy. I may be biased, and anything I say, take with a grain of salt, because I absolutely am biased, first and foremost. And number two, I don't know anything. And number three, it's not investment advice. This is an entertainment show only for entertainment purposes. And if I can share the news with you guys and make you laugh, I've accomplished my job as we continue to orange pill the masses. Remember, true, says Dan, silver is vital, but abundant. Well, there you go. I like the scarce assets. That's just me. I don't trust BlackRock, Fidelity, or Vanguard. They are deep state shills when it comes down to it. 100%. And that's why I warn people a lot, and I always remind them Max Kaiser's sentiment that all Bitcoin ETF BTC will eventually be seized in the name of national security. I also don't trust BlackRock. I also don't trust Fidelity. I also don't trust Vanguard. I also don't trust the U.S. government. I also don't trust mother frickers who don't deserve our trust to begin with. I trust in Biddy. There you have it. Next story of the day. Let's discuss El Salvador, Bitcoin country. I'm rocking the hat, so good stuff. Headline reads, El Salvador seals a $1.6 billion deal to modernize ports and bring Bitcoin City to life. Can you say Bitcoin City? That's right. Yieldport Holdings, owned by a Turkish company, invested a whopping $1.6 billion for the renovation and modernization of two such ports, Agajutla and La Union. This is undoubtedly the largest private money ever poured into the history of the country, and as such is expected to trigger further economic growth in the country. So more power to the Turkish company here, Yieldport Holdings. That's what's up. So yeah, the announcement was revealed via President Bukele. He explained an investment of more than $1.6 billion would be made by Yieldport Holdings in the upgrading of the Pacific port of La Union and modernizing Ajatula. Currently, the port facilities of La Union are grossly underutilized, with hardly any ships calling at the seaport due to the old infrastructure. Here's the announcement from Najib Bukele. And that's pretty lit. I can't wait for Bitcoin City, family. The terms of the agreement would permit Yieldport and CEPA, the Autonomous Executive Port Commission, to manage the ports for the next 5 decades, 50-year plan here. It is a long-term partnership expected to revive the ports and improve logistics in the region. And for Federico, the president of CEPA, it was an investment of major importance. As he stated, El Salvador is becoming a very important logistics hub in Latin America. And according to him, it will strengthen the country's position in world trade through modernization of the ports. Work on the project will start at the end of this year, 2024, and will be carried out in phases. A system enabling facilities to be upgraded without any disturbance. And as you can see here, the breaking news: El Salvador announces $1.6 billion private investment, the biggest in the nation's history. The $1.6 billion investment will modernize the port, which we mentioned, and also build Bitcoin City, family. So Bitcoin City can't come soon enough. The investment in port infrastructure is attached to a more comprehensive vision, the city of the future, Bitcoin City, which Bukele announced back in 2021. The metropolis of the city shall have no taxes. I repeat, the metropolis of the city shall have no taxes and shall be run by geothermal energy. That's volcano energy, family, specifically mined for the Bitcoins. Now, port developments from part of the logistical and trading infrastructure, which shall service the needs of the city, hence ensure the growth and attraction of more investment. Residential areas, businesses, and leisure activities are supposed to abound in the metropolis. Originally intended to be funded by crypto bonds, this project would confirm El Salvador's dedication to include cryptos into its financial system. The decision piqued excitement amongst crypto investors who showed hope for the nation's capacity to manage its economic growth via creative means. The $1.6 billion project will make El Salvador a hub for transit and business. The port upgrade will help stretch the country's coast. The country's partnership with the famous Turkish company is expected to help the government create jobs and more. So there you go. Bitcoin City, stand up. And shout out El Salvador, Bukele, and the rest of the fam holding it down. Hit the likes, everyone. Thank you, Diana. Always greatly appreciated. And just a reminder, we do have a hurricane heading towards Puerto Rico tomorrow. So if there's no stream, now you know why. It means I have no power. But please pray that my power remains on, please, and that we can continue with a podcast tomorrow.
We've been climbing, aim for $1 million climaxing, never stopping. Bitcoin is rising. We already hit 67K, and now we're aiming up, at that 69 sweet G spot, rocket ticking off. Everybody knows it's the magic spot. Watch how it goes when we.
And shout out everyone reposting the stream, Rihan, Boss. Frantic, comments, post, all that. Thank you. Toucan or 2K Can, Diana. I'm just getting everyone reposted right now. Let's go. 69 G's, baby. We so close.
Hit the 69K, we will continue to grow. Let it flow, 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 flow. Magic, cosmic fire, the rocket is fueled up. Prepare for flight, rocket up, kind of.
Shout out Glenn Cooper. Appreciate it, brother.
High, darting, darting, darting. 69G bound, such a fun time.
Whoa. And shout out Chandy 10 Music. She's the one we play all our jams. She's not watching with us now, but she's kind of busy, but we'll be watching the replay. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I think she's now at 92,000 subs, only 8,000 away from a massive milestone achievement, 100,000 subs on YouTube. So she's getting so close. My prediction is within 2 weeks, before the end of the month, she'll have 100,000 subs locked in. So massive accomplishment there. What do you miss about the live in the States or living in the States? Nothing. I mean, clearly, my family is in Florida, and I visit Florida as often as I could, and my family visits me in Puerto Rico. It's like a 2, maybe 3 hour flight, so it's not really that bad. So I don't miss anything in the States. There's a reason I decided to leave the mainland and come to Puerto Rico, really to just experience a new lifestyle. Something I've never experienced before. And I've been here since 2018. So. And if you don't know, now you know. You drink some weird stuff. Is that really that weird? The super berry? Is super berry weird? The brew doctor? Is that, I mean, if your drink doesn't have a sloth with a cape on it, are you really even drinking anything? You know what I mean? Serious. I mean, if there's no sloth with a cape on your drink, is it truly a beverage? Oh, man. I played Chandy's songs all night long while I was sleeping. Did my part to get her to that 4,000 hours. Thank you. And reminder, once she hits 4,000 hours of watch time on her channel, she can finally monetize her content, which is another massive achievement. And I know she's getting close, but still has some ways to go. So if you guys could help by doing exactly what the Oracle is doing, listen to Chandy's music on her YouTube channel specifically while you're sleeping. She even has a track with all of her music on one video. So it's just easy. You can just play that song at night, put it on repeat, and rack up the hours. So now you know. JV drinks and eats healthy. He will outlive us all. My parents have been telling me that since I was a child. Justin doesn't need nothing bad. He's going to live forever. Kind of funny. Is there a Costco there? Yes, of course. That's where I get the drink with the sloth with the cape. Costco. Yeah, these I get in Costco. It's one of my favorite kombucha brands. So for sure. And Costco's are very popular here on the island. I have one literally 2 minutes from my house. So the closest thing to my house is a Costco, which is convenient. I'll actually be there in a little bit. Hence why I'm streaming early today. I got to pick up my little one and go shopping at Costco before the hurricane hits tomorrow. Then the Allah candle to 150 G's, 370 guaranteed, says Muhammad. Yes, there is, JV. Right on. There goes. But anyways, fam, soda is much weirder. Agreed, Alan. If anyone's an adult drinking soda, shame on you. I'm shaming you. You know better. Come on now. If you were a kid and didn't know any better, you don't know any better. Like I was a kid drinking the Dr. Peppers and Mountain Dews. I didn't know any better. That's all we had in the house. I don't even think they had bottled water at my house as a kid. It wasn't a thing. Water wasn't a popular beverage. We just drink soda. Lipton iced teas. Remember? That's brisk, baby. I even remember the freaking Frankie Blue Eyes Sinatra commercials. You know what I mean? Cans of soda. That's all I knew when I was a kid. But yeah, as an adult, yeah, I don't mess with soda. JV, you can brew kombucha at home in a large glass jar. It's weird looking, like an alien fetus. Hey, now I'm intrigued. It's the God candle. I only drink water, coffee, and whiskey. My man! Water, coffee, and whiskey. No kombucha with the sloth with the cape. All right. Tap water here is good. I am retired Mountain Dew addict. Graduated coffee finally. Yeah, I remember the Mountain Dews. Damn. Those were addicting. Anyways, family. Anyways. Next story of the day, eh? We discussed the latest with El Salvador. Now let's discuss this $109,000 target. According to the Fibonacci, one of the most accurate indicators in the world. And then we'll discuss Bitcoin potentially hitting $1 million by 2025. And then we'll dive into some live Q&A, family. So yeah, here. Legendary Fibonacci extension reveals when Bitcoin will reach 109 G's, baby. CryptoCon predicted on X, sharing a post that the Bitcoin Fibonacci extension is set to push Bitcoin over 100,000 as it rises to 109,236,000. I'm sorry, $109,236. A move which the analyst added could happen by the end of this year. Let me know if you agree with that. He suggests Bitcoin reaching 109,000 specifically by December 2024. So we're in August, so September, October, November, December, which ultimately means within 4 months, family. Let me know if you agree. It says will only likely happen if the 1 month behind the 2023 trend continues. The analyst's chart, which you can see on your screen, shows that Bitcoin had hit a local top this year, 1 month ahead of each local top in 2023. And I believe that was when we hit the 73.8 target back in mid-March. The last local top for Bitcoin 2023 rolled over into 2024 and occurred in January of 2024. Based on the trend, the next local top could happen in December rather than rolling over into the next year. Bitcoin's potential rise to 100,000 and even 109,000 is one that several other analysts, such as Standard Chartered head of digital asset research Geoffrey Kendrick, have predicted would happen at some point. And interestingly, Kendrick stated that Bitcoin would reach 100,000 ahead of the U.S. elections in November and hit 150,000 by the year end if Trump wins the presidential election. And speaking of Kendrick,
they not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Wait, we're talking different Kendrick, but I digress. Meanwhile, based on CryptoCon's most recent analysis, a rise to 109,000 is unlikely to be the market top for Bitcoin, as the flagship crypto still has a long way to go in this bull run. Agreed. The analyst stated that he is convinced that Bitcoin still has over a year of the bull market to go based on the 3-week Fibonacci channel RSI. This coincides with crypto analyst Red Capital's prediction that the market top won't come until sometime in September or October 2025. If history is to repeat or rhyme, that's precisely around the time we'll hit the all-time high, because typically it's an 18-month run-up post-halving. And we just had the halving officially occur back on April 19th of this year, which means we're going to be running bullish all throughout next year, as well as Q4 this year, family. Now, Bitcoin could even reach 250,000 this bull run, according to crypto analyst Macalvin A. Pop, who has raised the possibility of Bitcoin rising as high as $250,000 per coin this particular market cycle. He stated Bitcoin's monthly candle closing at around 60,000 could be the consolidation before the big bull breakout, which would likely be the start of the Bitcoin big run to 250,000. Now, the 250,000 price target is still below the CryptoQuant CEO Qi Zhangzhu's prediction that Bitcoin could achieve a market top of 265,000 in this market cycle. He made this prediction based on the hash rate market cap ratio, which he claims supports a Bitcoin market cap 3 times larger than the one it clocked during the last cyclical top. So there you have it, yo. And right now we got the Bitcoin market cap, as I shared earlier, probably sitting at roughly, what is that? Just 1.2 trillion as of today, as we're making a recovery there, family. And in fact, let me actually share with you the tweet from Macalvin A. Pop real quick before we dive into our feature story. He wrote, "It is still early in the month, but if the monthly candle of Bitcoin is going to close around 60,000, it seems like its consolidation before the big bull breakout very likely will be at the start of the big run of Bitcoin to 250,000 plus and the surge of the altcoins." So there you go, crypto bros. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Van Day Pop and some of those bullish price targets. I'm going to check the feed again. Again, anyone who reposts the live stream is always greatly appreciated. Thank you, Short Coin. She says, be safe. I'm going to be safe. I'll be as safe as I can be. Thank you, Diana, again, for the reposts. Glenn Cooper, the rest of you guys. Let's freaking go, Devon. Let's go. Bitcoin to the moon, baby. Where no man has gone before, eh? I will stay safe. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. Before we dive into our feature story, discuss Bitcoin potentially locking in $1 million by next year, this cycle. Feel free to interact, ask questions, comments. 225 end of the year. I like it. The Oracle. 500 to 750,000 cycle peak. I'm right there with you. I think Bitcoin absolutely has the potential to climb as high as 750,000 for the cycle peak. I'm not a firm believer that we do hit the $1 million target next year, but I am open to entertaining it, and hence why it's our feature story of the day. JV is the bestest. Thank you, Chris. Good morning. Still morning here for 5 minutes. Good morning, Diana. Bolkowski visual index of the chart patterns. Bitcoin's a huge cup and handle from November 21 through today. If it plays out, the measured move puts Bitcoin at 225,000. And that's near or midterm. Send it. Do you board up your house? No. I have a new house. I can't complain. My house was built in 2022. It's all concrete. It's a 2-story home. Very thick windows. And I think the windows are probably hurricane proof because half my house is windows. It's very open in that way. but they're very thick, and like I said, it's a new house, so I have no concern over, my house blowing over or shit breaking through my windows or anything like that. However, still pray for me, because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. That Dr. Brew is very little sugar. You can rarely tell the fermentation process, digest, and most all the sugar is good stuff. Thank you, Dirty. And that's why I buy the Brew Doctor in comparison to a lot of the other kombuchas on the shelf at Costco. It has the lower sugar content, and I don't like kombucha with 60% sugar. JV is the bestiest. Please say more, C-list. But yeah. I'll just make sure all my windows are shut, and I should be good. But the big concern with the hurricanes in Puerto Rico is really flooding. The infrastructure, like my community will be fine. It's a new community. However, a lot of people will get flooded, and it's serious because a lot of the infrastructure is not prepared for massive floods, and that causes a lot of damage. And the streets, all the highways get flooded. Everything gets flooded, and that's the big problem. We weren't at 30,000 at the beginning of the year. We feel stuck at 60. It is all in the perspective of things. 100%. It's absolutely all perspective there, family. Hurricane proof, nice. Yeah, I'm assuming. I don't know for sure, short coin, but there's been other storms, and I've been fine. So Solana is going to 0. XRP is going to 0. ADA is going to 0. It's all going to 0 against the biddy. In fact, what's the second best crypto?
Which one's the best crypto asset?
Yeah, JV doesn't have insurance. Just FYI. I don't believe in it. I own my home. I don't need insurance. Most people are forced to get insurance because they have a mortgage. So JV's insurance is Bitcoin. If something happens to my house, oh well. I got Bitcoin.
Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
You know what I mean? The new becomes the norm quickly. JV, you're the bestest. Wait, beastiest or bestest? Bestiest? Is that a word? I'd need Kamala Venn diagram to I don't even know how to pronounce what you're saying, bro. I lost everything I owned in Katrina. Damn, sorry to hear that. Bitcoin gave my life another chance. Right on. Shout out GT Lions, the rest of the fam. We're about to dive into the feature story. I'm just going to sip on some more kombucha. It's already raining hardcore here. So again, incoming hurricane by tomorrow will hit landfall here. I'm praying I have power for my daughter's sake and for our stream's sake. Hopefully we can do a podcast tomorrow. Like I said, if there's no power, there will be no podcast tomorrow. So we'll see how it plays out. My homeowner's insurance is legit. You pay a bunch up front. They give it back when you cancel the plan. Venn diagram. I made bestiest a word just now. Oh, Kamalato. What about the Kamalato? What do you guys think of the Kamala Jam? I'm just going to play a snippet of it, but this is the one Shandy produced.
Indian Kamala, Black Kamala, West Coast Kamala, East Coast Kamala. Hold on, Kamala likes camels. Kamala likes toes too. Kamala likes camels and she likes toes too. She is every Kamala, every race, and does whatever she wants.
We'll play the rest of that track during the Rumble. But anyways, fam, now for our featured story of the day. Analyst tells Forbes magazine that Bitcoin could hit 1 million per coin as soon as next year. And in fact, that's the headline here in today's feature story. So let's break this baby down. Bitcoin has endured a tumultuous, make sure I'm pronouncing this right, tumultuous period over the past few weeks, with its value experiencing significant swings. After peaking at around 70 Gs back in July, the crypto plunged below 48,000 on August 5th. However, it has since demonstrated signs of resurgence. In fact, we're currently right back at 61 Gs at the time of the live stream. Now, in a recent interview with Forbes, Himanshu, founder and chairman of CIFDAQ Blockchain Ecosystem, presented an eye-catching forecast suggesting the Bitcoin could potentially hit $1 million per coin by 2025. While this prediction might seem audacious, he believes several factors can drive Bitcoin towards this milestone. Notably, the pundit pointed to the increasing adoption of Bitcoin, the approval of the Bitcoin ETFs in various countries, and rising concerns of a fiat currency devaluation as key drivers. The pundit also emphasized the recent halving event on April 20th. It actually occurred here in the United States on the 19th, but I guess it all depends upon what, time zone you're in and what country of the world. It's nice to say 420, though. It just has a certain ring to it, doesn't it? Which reduced the rate at which the new Bitcoins are created as another factor influencing his predictions. Historically, the Bitcoin halvings have led to significant price increases due to the reduced supply. Quoting him here, predicting a $1 million Bitcoin might appear overly optimistic, but the increasing institutional interest and the regulatory support for cryptos make this scenario plausible. Amen. 100%. Very doable. Elsewhere, former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes Just Blaze recently suggested a Bitcoin might spike to that 1 milli mark in the current market cycle. In a new interview with DL News last week, Hayes attributed this potential surge to global financial shifts and high debt levels. Quoting him here, the Bitcoin price in this cycle is going to go very, very high, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe 1 million. So he's ultimately saying this cycle, he anticipates Bitcoin hitting several hundreds of thousands of dollars and maybe even as high as $1 million. And he also says we're entering a period of significant change in the global monetary system. Preach. Elsewhere, this dude Menon, vice president of India's largest exchange, Wazirx, commented on Bitcoin's potential. Menon believes Bitcoin could initially target between $90,000 and $100,000 per coin before this year ends. Let me know if you agree with that. Quoting him here, the 100,000 mark represents a significant psychological barrier. Bitcoin may experience substantial resistance around this level, which could affect its short-term performance. And then we also have veteran trader Peter Brandt, who also echoed the bullish outlook, predicting the Bitty can reach 150,000 by the end of 2025. And like Maradiya, Brandt's forecast is based on historical trends associated with the Bitcoin halving cycles, often leading to bullish market phases. However, Brandt also cautioned that there is a 50% chance Bitcoin might drop below 40 G's before the effects of the latest halving fully materialize. But that's looking less likely as we're currently sitting above 61, just saying. We did tap 49 though like 3 days ago, but we didn't go as low as 40, but now we're in the clear. But what are your thoughts, family? Can you see a $1 million Bitcoin price coming into fruition sooner than later, potentially this cycle? Let me know your honest thoughts, and I will read your comments out loud. And welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. This is amazing. That's the new song I have. Do you have any power banks or generators in case the power dies? I'd say 75% of the homes in my community have solar panels. I never had the opportunity to get them installed, so I don't have them. And some people have generators. You hear them as soon as the power goes off. My previous house had generators, but keep it 100. I don't currently have any generators. Or, what is it called? The things on top of the roof, the solar panels, like all my neighbors. So I may just crash my neighbor's house if my power goes out. We're here for dinner. I brought my little one. What's for dinner, neighbor? You know what I mean? But yeah, I ideally need to get solar panels because that's the smart way to do it. Then that way, when the power goes out, who cares? Solar. The more the banks, governments, and institutions FUD Bitcoin, the more it brings into the public sphere, and the more people buy the Bitty. Word up. I'm selling at least 2 Bitcoin at 100,000, then buying back on the pull. Now, what would happen, though, family? What would be the plan, Dirty? If you sell the 2 Bitcoin at 100 and 1 week later, the Bitcoin's at 200,000, do you buy back the 1 Bitcoin for 200,000? That's my question. You got to be prepared in case it happens. BLX Weekly, Bitcoin on August goes up 2 fib levels post-halving. The 1.114 fib sits at 400,000. The 1.236 fib sits at 3 million. Post-next halving, the 1.15 fib sits at $191 million. Let's freaking go. I like that, Greg. I like you a lot. I really like you. Power banks. Oh, I see power banks. Send out a quick stream from your cell if you lose power so we know. Well, correct. So if my internet goes out at my house, which is a very strong probability, I'm still going to have my phone for at least a few hours before my phone dies. And I'll still be able to communicate on X and let you guys know. So, for example, if I have no power, I'll make a post on X. So just make sure you follow me on X, and I'll let you guys know. I'll say, yo, power is out. No pod today. And if the power is still good tomorrow, we'll probably stream at 4 o'clock. That's the go-to time. Granted, there's power. There's a new verse in the Bible and in the Quran that says, thou shalt own at least 1 Bitcoin or face the wrath of God. Wow, it's biblical. Just like security laws. They're biblical. Thank you for sharing that, Muhammad. What book was that out of, by the way? In the Bible, I'm curious. That must be the book of Satosh. Prophet Satosh. Then I really wet the bed. But I got some more. Because just, you got to keep all scenarios. Keep in mind, in 2022, when I bought this house, Bitcoin dropped from the all-time high of 69 to 40. Around that time, I'm like, I should buy a house, get a Bitcoin back loan. Bitcoin will eventually recapture the all-time high, enter 70,000, and then I'll pay off the loan. It didn't go according to plan. So it had the opposite effect. Whereas I could have just straight up purchased this house for roughly 15 Bitcoin. Instead, it cost me 30 because I was trying to be smart and it backfired. So be prepared. Expect the unexpected. Ish can happen. And a great example is your plan. You know, selling 2 Bitcoin at 100, and then, yeah, I mean, what if Bitcoin just continues to go up and now you have less Bitcoin because your plan didn't work? So have a backup plan is the bigger picture of what I'm trying to say here. Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. Prophet Satoshi has been traveling the valley lately. The Book of Muhammad, 10 Commandments. Speaking of the 10 Sat Commandments.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 Sat Commandments.
Investing in a generator pays itself off by saving food. Hope your electricity stays on. Well, generator is the cheaper solution, more affordable solution. You can probably get a nice generator for maybe 10, 15,000 installed on the side of the house. Some of the neighbors have, but superior solution is going to be the solar panels, because number one, it's not dependent upon gas, which is also a danger, right? You know what I mean? If a gunshot goes off, hits your gas tank, your house is going to explode. And I'm always super... you already know how I feel. But yeah, solar panels is the way to go. But I think the solar probably going to cost $40,000 to $50,000 to do it properly. So that's on the agenda. Hope isn't a plan. Are you walking Nipsey during the hurricane? You can't walk Nipsey during the hurricane. He would fly away, family. It'd be like attaching 1,000 helium balloons to his paws that were in the air earlier. He'd just float away. Nipsey is like a 14-pound dog. The Tesla Powerwalls are great. Satoshi, verse 420 JV, that's where the commandment. Now it makes sense. Thanks for the confirmation. What's the second best crypto? There is no second best. There's a crypto asset called Biddy, right? I listened to parts of it. Trump kept rehearsing the same old subjects: immigration, Merry Christmas, men and women's sports. Elon just mistily voiced his agreement from what I heard. Yeah, full solar installation is still costly. No dollar solar, as the junk contractors claim. Indicator spotted. Indicator, the Nipinator. Where does he pee then? Well, clearly, he's going to hold it in. No, obviously when the rain dies down, he's not going to want to go outside when it's pouring rain. But when the rain calms down, I'll walk him outside. He can go run out in the backyard and lift his leg, pee, do what he's got to do. He'll be fine. This isn't the first hurricane, so another Nipponator indicator. Litecoin and ETH are distant second best. Get a windmill so you will get power during the hurricane. A windmill, right? A windmill? Nipsey has given us the buy signal again. It seems to be that way. Short coin. Shout out Nipponator. Always holding it down. I see we got 700 people on the stream. We're going to probably transition from the tube now to the uncensored extended version of the pod. So if you're on YouTube, you ain't got to go home. But I encourage you to head on over to the Rumble at rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And we're going to continue with the uncensored extended version of the podcast, which we do each and every day. So head on over to rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net and let's get ready to rumble.